Welcome, everyone, to another great episode of Tea Time with Tommy, here with my co-host Norbs Cabrera, and we have a special guest, book author and pro wrestling podcaster, EHREN SCHAFFTER has joined us. Thank you, EHREN, for taking the time to join us today.
Thank you guys very much for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So, let's get right into it, EHREN. Making a successful pro wrestling book. Number 7, Barnes & Nobles. It's called Independent Road, A Wrestler's Journey. Speaks about different wrestlers who haven't made the prime time yet, but are going how their journey has been thus far. Very, very successful book, EHREN. And I just want to add, tell us about the book and what inspired you to write the book.
You know, about 15 years ago, I had this idea about how everyone's journeys to pro wrestling were different. You would read on a lot of the dirt sheets and other aspects of the pro wrestling websites about certain people's journeys, and I thought to myself that would be a great idea for a book. So I sent out a bunch of emails to a bunch of wrestlers at the time, but I kind of chickened out. Didn't pull the trigger on it, and when I went back a couple years ago and I re-looked at some of those people who said that they were interested, I had the John Moxleys and I had the Seth Rollins at the time say that they were interested, and I passed on it. So here I am,
all
15
good
years later, and I'm like, I've got to try this. I've got to try it. And luckily, Dave Metzler put it on his website. I was looking for some people. We had over 100 people actually apply and send their requests and informations. And some of them wanted some money out of the deal right off the bat. And, of course, you know, with taking all the risk as far as, you know, not knowing how well the book would do or anything of that nature, I decided to go the route with people that were just wanting their stories told instead of wanting to make the profit off of it. And it's turned out very well so far.
Absolutely, and I can see you got some good names. Of course, our very own Molly Spartan, who's been on our show, Tea Time with Tommy. You've also gotten Alex Gracia, Effie, Lufisto, who has also been on our show as well. Any of the wrestlers that you thought were like more interesting than the others, or were they just all interesting? Did any one of the wrestlers like shine out in your mind while you were writing the book?
Well, you mentioned her. Molly's been on your show. And she's a character all in herself, and I love her to death. She's very vocal, and I thought her journey, you know, we look at America and Canada and the way that we receive wrestling on the weekly basis. And for her, the dedication of, like she mentioned on your show, to wake up or stay up past 1 a.m. every time wrestling's on, to have that dedication, the culture of the British strong style. That was very interesting, but probably no one's more interesting than Effie. His story is a wild roller coaster ride of overcoming every type of obstacle that a youth probably would, and to just want to infiltrate the business the way he does, and the way he thinks, and the way that he comes across as far as his intellectual ability is phenomenal. The way he looks at stuff.
Nice.
That's excellent. Yeah, that's a good story. Going right into your podcast, the Hot Tag Hooligans. What has been your most favorite interview you have done in your show so far?
You know, having Lufisto on the show for us was very, very rewarding experience. She's someone that we grew up watching. And I believe that she's someone who doesn't get the recognition that she should deserve around the world. In Canada, she's beloved. There are so many wrestlers out there who still don't give her the credit that she deserves. I found her to be very rewarding and one of our favorite ones. And then, of course, Thunder Rosa was also another really good one for us. We got her right in that hot span. When the rumors were flying, is she going WWE? Is she going AEW? Is she staying with NWA?
Excellent.
It was exactly that week.
Nice.
So it was a very good
interview
for us right there. And she's a very passionate individual. And for anyone who hasn't had her on the show yet, that's a must get because her passion for wrestling in general is phenomenal, and she's a big star waiting to break out if you haven't think so already.
Yeah, former NWA Women's Champion, extremely talented, and she was the first Mexican-born NWA Women's World Champion. So
hey, but you guys had Jake the Snake Roberts. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
If I had Jake the Snake, I would probably say Jake the Snake.
We can help each other out, Aaron. Like, we'll help you get Jake the Snake and help us get Thunder Rosa.
There you go.
Help each other out, you know? That's what we got to do,
Absolutely.
right? The wrestling podcast community.
Oh, absolutely. You know, that is one of the good parts about the wrestling podcast community. There are a lot of people who are not afraid to help to watch others succeed. And it's just an evolving circle. It's great.
It is. So we know you're a big wrestling fan, of course. We have to ask, there's a lot of storylines in the wrestling promotions right now. You got WBE, AEW, you got Impact Wrestling, Ring of Honor is coming out soon after the pandemic lifts. Is there like a promotion storyline you're following right now currently?
I really like the Edge and Roman Reigns stuff. I know a lot of people are kind of turned off on Edge. You know, especially the circles that I kind of run with, like, I can't believe he's getting another title shot at his age. And I'm just like, it's such a good story. It really is. For someone who's overcome so much like he has to come back. And, you know, you don't have to put the title on him. It's perfectly fine. But Roman Reigns is doing some of the best work he's possibly ever done right now as this heel that you just want to punch in the face. And his chemistry with Edge over the last few weeks has been really good.
Yeah, I don't know. Edge is from our hometown where Norbs and I live. I don't know why people are hating on him so much.
Yeah, well, he's
better than getting Goldberg.
Yeah.
Oh,
True.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, compared to Goldberg, yeah, I mean, Edge is, still got a little bit of, energy left in his body to wrestle for quite a while. Speaking again, like you're a wrestling fan. Like you've probably been to a lot of wrestling shows in your day. What has been like your most memorable?
WrestleMania 19. I flew all the way from Kentucky all the way to Seattle. Me and a group of friends. I grew up being a Seattle Supersonic basketball fan, so Seattle was always one of those destinations I kind of always wanted to go to. And when WrestleMania showed up there, it was a must. And luckily, I didn't know it at the time, but to see the very last Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin match, and then the return of Shawn Michaels versus Chris Jericho, Hulk Hogan's big return versus Vince McMahon. That was a great atmosphere, a great crowd. And the Mania 22 in Chicago, Illinois was also very good.
So, yeah. I mean, and it was called Safeco Field back in the day for WrestleMania 19. It's actually one of my favorite WrestleManias, and to do it in a ballpark in that magnitude, it's a beautiful ballpark, I must say, and I'd love to go there sometime. I'm a Seahawks fan myself, so definitely I'd like to visit the city and then visit T-Mobile Park, as what it's called now, and.
Absolutely, yeah. It's one of my favorite cities I've ever been to in my life because it has every type of thing that you could possibly want. It has the city life. It has that country feel to it with the landscapes. The temperature needs a little work, but it's great. It's great.
Yeah, beautiful city.
Well, like there's of course going back to the book, and everyone watching, get that book, Independent Road Wrestler's Journey. Amazing book. Aaron, if you can share, I don't know if you can. Do you have what's the next type of book that's coming up? Like, I know you want to you gotta make it a little secret, gotta make it interesting, exciting for the fans. But what's the next book coming up now that you have in mind?
The crazy part with this book was I had so many people apply that I could redo another book with a total different group. That is on the table, but I would really love to do a pure women's only book, focusing on the struggles of women through professional wrestling history. That is something that's on my radar.
Wow, amazing. Do you have any certain type of wrestlers that you would like to bring in, or for that book?
You know, with this one, the original plan was to have 4 legends 4 up-and-comers, and then 4, which I consider around the area, which would be the Kentucky, Illinois, Tennessee area. And it didn't pan out that way. But for this one, I don't think so. Of course, I would love to get some people who are at the end of their career for the depth of the stories. But some of the youngsters, like in this current book that I've got out, Billy Starks is one of them. She's an amazing 16-year-old talent right now who is going to be a main eventer for somebody in the next 4 years. I mean, there's just no doubt in my mind as far as that goes. She's already wrestled the very best on the women's side and the intergender side as well. She's getting rave reviews if you guys have not checked her out yet. But the talent that is in the Midwest of the United States right now, and as far as the Southwest, with Roxy, Maddie Rankowski, Alex Gracia, man, the women's side, whew, thank goodness for Mania a few years ago where they're able to main event, because it's going to be an amazing ride in the next 5 years.
Yeah, I saw the interview with Billy Stark. She's only 16 years old. Wow. So I saw the interview you guys did with her, and that's amazing. That's amazing.
Well, and even on the British side, Chantel Jordan is only 17. But it seems like more of the women are getting into wrestling a whole lot at a younger age now, where, you know, when you and I were growing up, they were almost 28, almost close to 30 before they were ever breaking in, because they were finding the models and they were finding those types of characters. But now they are getting the training starting at 14 years of age. And by the time they're 20, man, they are ready to go.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, as a teenager, you're thinking about just, you know, going out with friends and studying and, you know, just being in high school, having fun. But these women, like, they're really starting off their career very, very early in life. And it's amazing to do that. I mean, you know, like back in our day, yeah, like there wasn't that opportunity a lot in our community, but now it's like they're really starting out at an early age. It's amazing.
Oh yeah, yeah. My son's 14 years of age, and if he told me he wanted to become a professional wrestler right now, I would pump the brakes and tell him no. You know, he'd have to wait until he was 18, 19, 20 years old. And that's just for the safety precautions of it. And I wouldn't want to invest money into something that he would probably change his mind on next week. But there are a lot of families right now that are like, go for it. And their children are proving them wrong. I think a lot of the parents are thinking they won't stick with it, but they do. And they're becoming great superstars.
Amazing.
I gotta ask a question here. Is for your show, Hot Tag Hooligans, amazing podcast show. Definitely catch it, everyone who's watching. Is there, like, if you had a dream wrestler, Aaron, that, you know, it could be past, present, right? Which ones would they be? Like, you could take anyone from the history. I know it's a loaded question, but who would you like to have on your show?
It's not a loaded question for me. It's a slam dunk home run. Now, my co-host Tom Henderson would disagree fully, but for me, it's Bret Hart. It's Bret Hart.
Nice.
It's got to be Bret Hart. He's a Shawn Michaels guy. Tom is, so he would say no. But it's Bret Hart for me, 100%. Just everything about, you know, the dungeon wrestlers throughout the years, himself, Jericho, that whole crew that came up through there. And then, of course, Bret, you know, he's a fellow Canadian for you guys. Just something about him. He's where I fell in love with wrestling for the purest form of it instead of the entertainment form of it. So that's why he holds a good place in my heart.
Absolutely. So yeah, wow, Aaron, before you go, would you like to you know, tell the viewers how we can follow you on social media and how they can get you know, their hands on this amazing book, Independent Road Wrestler's Journey? Yeah. My Twitter handle is plain and simple. It's at Shaft10. The Shaft is spelled SCHAFFT. Don't forget the C in there. And then, of course, we're available at the Hot Tag Hooligans Wrestling Podcast Show, which is on YouTube. It's also our handles over on Twitter and Instagram. And, of course, this book, which released last week, is
currently, I think this morning we're still at number 7. We did get up to number 5.
Nice.
It's available at Barnes & Nobles. So you can get it at Barnes & Nobles online. It's available in Nook form, which is the e-reader form, and as well as print form. So for some of you guys and girls out there who don't like the actual physical copy, we're able to provide that for you as well. And I appreciate all the support, you guys, greatly.
Absolutely, Aaron. And we definitely, this was great time we had, Norbs and I, with you. Thank you for taking the time to come on our show. Have your busy schedule. We got to get your co-host on here too. That was our fault.
Yeah, for sure. Let's do this again.
He's got actually, Aaron, just as many title belts on the background as Norbs has. So
I tell you what, we will do the crossover event.
Yes.
Of you guys with us.
For sure.
We can host it on our show, and that's fine. And hey, we can let Norbs and Tom talk. Like, you have no clue how much Tom's got. Oh my goodness.
We could make a
very passionate guy.
We could make a competition. Who has the better background, Tom or Norbs? That's what we're gonna do.
These are just toy belts that I have in my background here, but I do have some replica ones.
Tom's got the NWO. I thought I saw NWO in his background too.
Oh,
so.
he's got so much stuff. I mean, every day he, receives something in the mail, to the point where I tell him, "Hey, tell me on a day that you don't get something in the mail." So I'm not surprised. So,
it's amazing.
Absolutely. Well, hey, don't leave now. Hold still, though. But Aaron, thank you so much again for coming on our show. Guys, check out his amazing podcast with co-host Tom on Hot Tag Hooligans. Definitely get your purchase that book, Independent Road: A Wrestler's Journey. Absolute hot seller right now. And thank you, everyone, for joining us for another great episode of Tea Time with Tommy. Thanks again, guys.
Hey guys, this is Aaron SCHAFFTER, and you're watching Tea Time with Tommy. Hey guys, if you're not busy, click subscribe below and stay tuned for more episodes of Tea Time with Tommy.